Now let's talk about bridge length. For most shots, you generally want the bridge length between the hand and cue ball to be about 8 to 12 inches. For soft, touch shots, you generally want to use a shorter bridge and stroke length for better control. Here's a safety example where you're trying to lock up the cue ball against the 13. With power shots, a longer bridge allows you to smoothly accelerate to generate speed with control. Whatever bridge length you're using, you should generally use the entire length for the stroke. If you're using only a portion of a longer bridge length, you will generally do better with using the full length of a shorter bridge. As we mentioned earlier, with a closed bridge, part of the cue is obscured from view. If this reduces your ability to sight the aiming line, a longer bridge can help provide better cue visibility. One disadvantage of a longer bridge is that any sideways motion of the backhand during a stroke will result in large changes in tip position and cue alignment. With a shorter bridge, the same backhand motion has much less effect. Throughout this video, we've described some advantages and disadvantages of both open and closed bridges. Let's look at one more issue on this topic. For some people, a closed bridge might help prevent bad effects from poor stroke technique. For example, if you tend to drop your elbow or tighten your grip during the stroke, the cue will tend to lift off an open bridge. And if this happens before cue ball contact, you can easily miss cue over the top of the ball. For people with these tendencies, a closed bridge can help keep the cue down. However, with proper stroke technique, cue lift is not an issue with an open bridge. Even with a power follow shot, the cue stays down on the bridge. Now, the cue lifts and bounces a little after the cue ball is gone, but this doesn't affect the shot. Here's a power side spin shot. Again, the cue remains in the bridge during and after the shot. Again, what happens to the cue after the cue ball is gone has no effect on the shot. Notice how the cue ball is gone before the bridge hand experiences any sideways cue motion. Here, the tip first makes contact with the ball. About 1/1000th of a second later, the ball is already leaving the tip. The part of the cue on the bridge hand is still not moved. Another 1/1000th of a second later, the cue ball has created some distance from the tip, and the part of the cue on the bridge has still not moved. Notice how the end of the shaft is flexed quite a bit at this time. During the rest of the motion, the cue ball separates even more, and the bridge hand finally feels sideways motion and vibration. Let's summarize the main advice from the video. The grip should be natural and relaxed. The forearm should be perpendicular to the cue, with the grip directly beneath the elbow, and the grip should form a light cradle, allowing the cue to pivot and be relaxed during the entire stroke. The bridge provides a stable and low-resistance guide for the cue. The heel of the hand should be firmly planted with the fingers spread for stability. An open bridge provides a centered, free-sliding V with a full view of the cue, and it's easy to elevate. A closed bridge offers an enclosed and stable guide, which is more secure for some people, and a longer bridge length offers more cue visibility. You should be comfortable forming a variety of rail and cushion bridges and know how to use a mechanical bridge properly. The most important advice is to practice these important fundamentals. For more information and resources on these and other topics, visit the FAQ page at billiards.colostate.edu.